Hello, AFF volunteer staff for audio and the audio recordings. This is going to be the training video for it. There's some very particular order of operations that needs to happen to make each recording successful. So we're going to go through those with you guys now. Let's start with the Zoom recorder. So everything will be recorded to the Zoom recorder as well as to from the board multi-tracked to a USB hard drive. But let's start with the Zoom recorder. For the Zoom recorder, never put in an SD card or take out an SD card while it's on. Very important. So make sure it's off before you put one in. We're going to go ahead and slide in the SD card, and you just wait till it clicks in there, and now it's in. And on the left hand side, we're going to hold down the button, and that's what powers it on. And the SD cards will be formatted for you. Everything should be good to go. You shouldn't have to worry about formatting or anything like that. You also won't have to worry about any sort of fader levels here or level going to the PA systems. We're going to have all that worked out for you. If you have any problems with anything, you can get a hold of a room manager and they can call us. Okay, so back to the Zoom recorder. So you can see that the display went dark a little bit. If you ever need to see the display brighter, you can just hit underneath input, you can hit mic, and it's going to go mic level, and it's going to bring it up a little bit brighter for you. So on the Zoom recorder, the top right is battery level. You always want to see at least 2 or 3 on the battery. If you get down to 1, you need to replace the batteries. Okay? Also, let me make it bright again. Okay, you see 4CH014. That's the unique identifier for each recording. Every time you actually engage in recording, it's going to make a unique identifier for that recording, and we're going to have you write that down. So let's go ahead. I mean, for these recordings, you can go ahead and start recording 5 minutes before the panel actually starts. I would rather have you record it ahead of time instead of missing anything. So let's go ahead and hit record. You'll see it'll start blinking. That means it's armed for recording. You'll see the level going into it. You should always see level right here. And that means it's armed for recording, but it's not actually recording yet. As soon as we hit record, which means we hit the play button and it'll go solid, that means it's actually recording. Okay? You'll see the elapsed time start to run at the top here. You'll also see that it created a unique identifier, which is the 4CH015. Okay, so we're all good to go. We're recording on that device. Now with the piece of paper provided, this is on my computer, but you'll see that it says SD card file ID. Now the file ID will be 4CH015. So we'll go 4, type that in real quick, 4CH015. Okay, that's our unique identifier for whenever we back everything up. So it's extremely, extremely important that you write this down. Do it as soon as you start recording. Okay, so that's all you have to do for the Zoom recorder. When you're finished with the recording, you just hit stop. So let's pretend that this is going for now. So we got the Zoom recorder set up. We're seeing level. Everything is good to go there. That should all be set up for you. Here on the board, this page should be what you see. All right, same thing on this board. You hit the red circle, which is the record button, and you see it says arming. Then it says armed. That means it's armed for recording. You have to hit the play button just the same as on the Zoom, and that actually engages in the recording. You see at the bottom left, elapsed time, that means it's actually recording. It's the elapsed time of the recording. Okay, also, over here on the touch to select track, it also created a unique identifier for this recording. This one's QUMT013. So you also need to put that information on the piece of paper that is provided, which is QU-MT013. Make sure you don't mess that up. Make sure you double check it. It's the first thing that you should do after you engage the recording. Like I said before, 3 minutes, 5 minutes before the panel actually starts, we should have plenty of hard drive space, plenty of SD card space. Go ahead and start the recording. write these unique identifiers down and make sure they're right. Then with the schedule that will be provided for each room, you can go ahead and put in the room name, session title, session ID, date, time, and your name for the recording. All right? So when the recording, at the end of the panel or session, to stop the recorders, you have to hit stop on the Zoom. You'll see it working. Please wait. Okay. And then you see the levels go away. That means it's stop the recording. Same thing on the Allen Heath QU16. You have to hit stop. And you'll see it went to stop, and that's all good to go there. Now you're ready for the next recording. Okay? So we finished the recording for this session, for this panel. Okay? What we're going to be doing is backing up all the SD cards between each session. So at the end of that session, remember, never remove an SD card while this is on. So we're going to go ahead and power this off. It's going to say goodbye. All right? Now we're going to take out the SD card from the side, click it once, and it'll pop out. Here's your SD card. You take that piece of paper that you wrote down with the unique file identifications for it, and you're going to place it into this hard drive box along with the piece of paper, and somebody's going to come pick that up from you, and somebody else will drop off a hard drive for the next, or an SD card for the next recording. The USB hard drives are going to stay in the room at all times, but these SD cards will be handed off between each session. So make sure that piece of paper has the file ID correct, with the room name, session title, session ID, all the information correct. Hand it off, and you'll have another SD card to place in for the next recording. So for the next recording, you'll take out the SD card. You go ahead and pop it in the Zoom. It's on the right hand side here. Just press it in, it'll click in. Power it on. And you'll be ready for the next recording. So a couple things to think about on this Zoom recorder too is, on the menu of it, is at the bottom here, you can see that it says SD 5949. So that shows you how much time is remaining on that SD card. If you're about to record a panel that's an hour and a half and you see an SD card that has time remaining at 59 minutes, you know you're not going to capture everything. So at that point, you need to get a hold of a room manager and ask for a different SD card and let them know that you don't have enough time for the next recording. But other than that, it's the exact same order of operations. You hit the record button, make sure it's blinking, go ahead and engage the record. When you engage the record, it's going to make that unique identifier 4CH016. So that's all good to go. Then we go over here, we're going to hit record. We're going to arm it, so it's going to start blinking. And now it's armed for recording. We're going to hit play. That engaged the recording, created that unique identifier, and you go ahead and put that information in there as well. Another indicator for this particular board is the blinking light of the Q drive underneath the hard drive. That means you know for sure you're actually recording to the hard drive, as well as elapsed times that show in this window. If for some reason on this console, if you're not seeing this particular window, like you're seeing something like that or whatnot, it's very easy. All you have to do is hit the home screen, QU drive in the top right hand corner, and then multi-track. But this should be on that window from the very beginning. You shouldn't ever have to go to anything else. But just in case you ever see anything different, like for example that board, that thing, or this, or anything else on this menu, all you have to do is hit home, make sure Q drive is selected, and then multi-track, and then you'll be back to this screen. And that's pretty much it. Again, all these fader levels for the microphones and everything should be set. If you have any problems, contact the room manager that'll have a walkie-talkie, and you can get a hold of one of us and we'll come and help you out with whatever you need. All right, thanks.